just when I thought that American Power Ranger toys couldn't get any lamer, we had Power Rangers Time Force, or Time Ranger as it's known in Japan. Um, Nothing against Time Ranger. Time Ranger was an awesome series. Power Rangers Time Force was good. It could have been a lot better with certain aspects, mainly being um, with the Sixth Ranger, Time Fire, or the Quantum Ranger, as he's called here in America. Um, I liked that Ranger a lot, mainly because really, really cool suit design, and he has a freaking dinosaur as a Zord. And as you probably all know, I love dinosaurs, and I love the dinosaur-based Power Ranger slash Super Sentai series. They're my favorites. So when I saw that a Super Sentai series that wasn't based all around dinosaurs had a Dino Zord in it, I was all for it. So I really quickly fell in love with the with Time Fire, or the Quantum Ranger, and his Zord, his Q Rex Zord, as they call it. Q obviously standing for quantum. Simple. Um, but I wasn't disappointed in the series, either series. They were both great. I was, however, disappointed with the Morpher toy, with the representation of the Morpher of Time Fire or the Quantum Ranger. Um, it's awful. It's just plain simple. It's awful. Now, this is probably going to be the last Bandai of America Power Ranger Morpher that I review, mainly because I don't have any more Bandai of America uh, toys or morphers from Power Rangers. The rest, everything else I've got is all Bandai of Japan. It's all Japanese stuff. So that's a good thing. So it's a good thing that I'm getting this out of the way. And last week I got the Ginga Brace, or Galaxy Morpher, from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy slash Seiju Sentai Ginga Man. I got that out of the way too, because that was also Bandai of America, a piece of crap. So let's get on with this one, which is, believe it or not, is even worse. How can it be even worse, you say? Well, this is how. It's not a standalone morpher. I bought this used from eBay for $60. Used. No box, no instructions, nothing. And the kicker is they didn't release this morpher by itself. This was not a standalone toy. It actually came with a fairly decent sized remote control Q-Rex Zord. You heard me. A remote control Z-Rex Q-Rex Zord. Sorry. And the morpher was the controller, was the remote for that remote control Q-Rex Zord. And of course, when I bought this from eBay, it did not come with the Zord, with the remote control Q-Rex Zord, which I was sorely disappointed in. And every time I look it up on eBay, Amazon, whatever have you, people want like $200 for that damn thing. Wow. $200 for a toy that, when it was originally released, only cost maybe $60 at best. So I paid $60 for it, just for the Morpher, without the remote control Q-Rex Zord. Very, very disappointing. And even some of the listings that I see for the remote control Q-Rex Zord say that it's not functional. It doesn't work. Even if it comes with the Morpher, they say, oh, something's wrong with it. It's broken, non-operational, for display or collectors only. Well, display maybe, but for collectors, no. A collector wants something that works. Yeah, it's got to look good, but it's also got to work too. At least that's the way I look at it. But let's get on with this. It has aside from looking really cool, and aesthetically, it would work great for a Quantum Ranger cosplay. It would work awesome for, because it's the Morpher. It looks like the Morpher. It just doesn't work the way it should at all. Number one, in Time Ranger slash Time Force, it was voice operated. Basically, all he had to do was speak into it, and it would control everything. It would control his powers, his Zord, or Mecha, whichever you want to call it. It would do everything, and the buttons would only work for, like, say, accessing certain features, like say when they wanted to combine to a Megazord or fire a weapon or something like that. But even then, I do remember seeing in Time Force that he did a lot of that with his voice. A lot of it was with his voice. So a lot of these buttons that you see on this Morpher were to control the remote control Q-Rex Zord, which I don't have. So therefore, their functions are pointless. They do, however, make sounds. Problem is, the voice that comes out of this is not the voice of either the Japanese actor or the American actor from either respective series. It sounds like some random young kid. Not necessarily a kid, but it sounds like a random young man that just put his voice into the toy, and that's it. And as you can also see, right here is a lens with a bulb that you would figure would light up, but it doesn't light up. This right here on the toy, very hard to see. There's also a bulb inside of there that does light up, a small orange light, only when you hit the buttons. Now, I've heard that if you had the Q-Rex Zord, the remote control Q-Rex Zord to go with this Morpher, I heard that this does light up, but it has to receive a signal from the Q-Rex Zord toy. Again, lame. Really, really lame. I really wish I had the Q-Rex Zord toy. That would make a much better review for you guys. But so sorry, this is all I've got. But I can turn the toy on, and unlike last week's review, the Ginga Brace, where it had an indicator sound, an indicator beep, to let you know the device was still on, this does not beep. However, it does flash. The light here, right here, if the toy stays on too long, it does begin to just flash, just to let you know the toy is on. But again, if the battery dies, it's not going to flash. You're not going to really know. You just turn it on, and because there's no sound letting you know you've turned the toy on either. Just flip it on and off, and that's pretty much it. So anyway, getting on with this, I'll go ahead and take this off because it'll just be easier. I could get it a little bit closer to the camera. Now, go ahead and take a look. This is the original strap that came with it, the original vinyl strap, because you can see the Time Force logo etched into the vinyl strap here. And for once, this is actually a decent strap, only for the fact is it's actually a large strap. It'll fit pretty much anybody's wrist, no matter how small or large they are. So, but getting on with this, I'll go ahead and get it as close as possible so you can hear it. The speaker is right here, and like I said, you'll see this right here light up as I press each button. First, we will go with this right here, where you see a V, a red V with a circle. That is actually the morphing button. Yeah, you heard me right. The morphing button. Even though in the series, both the American and Japanese versions, he would speak into the Morpher to morph. He would either yell, "Time Fire," to morph, or here in America, he would say, "Quantum Power." There was no button to morph, but this apparently is the morphing button. So we're going to go ahead and press it. See? Lights up, small orange light, and you hear a voice that just says, "Morph." What? He doesn't say that at all. And as you can hear, that's not either of the actor's voice. It's just some random guy's voice. So disappointing. The other buttons we have down here, you have F1, F2, and F3. F1 and F2 both basically say the same thing. Lasers. 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 F3. Missiles. And obviously I'm guessing that once you press these, it obviously corresponds to the Q-Rex remote control toy, and I'm pretty sure that it had lights and sound effects and things like that, that when you press these buttons, oh, you'll hear a sound effect and see the light of its lasers light up on the toy when you press lasers. Or missiles? Says it like with a question mark on the end, like he doesn't even know what he's saying. Missiles? Just wow. The obviously the black circle is stop. It, basically commanding the toy to stop. The big button in the center with the 2 rotating arrows, turn. So that would turn the remote control Q-Rex Zord. And then the arrow at the top is walk. So that's basically how you would control it. You would tell it to walk, turn, stop, and then fire all of its little sound effects. So that's how it would have worked if I had the remote control Q-Rex Zord toy that goes along with this. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm ever going to get my hands on one because of how expensive, rare, and busted they all seem to be. So I reviewed what I could. There's not much else to it, guys. I just wish that if I could have changed anything, I would have changed the fact that these should have been separate. The Q-Rex Zord toy and the Morpher should have been sold separate, or have had different versions of it to where go ahead and sell this with the Q-Rex Zord toy as a remote control toy, and then sell a different version of the Morpher by itself that actually works the way it should have with voice activation commands, because that's what it should have had, just like it did in both versions of the show. In either version of the show did it have buttons that sounded unlike either of the actors. Just no. Again, what were they thinking? I don't know what Bandai of America thinks half the time. But again, I'll keep on saying it, that I am so glad that they no longer have the Master Toy license for Power Rangers, because Hasbro, I hope, should do much better when it comes to representing the Morphers and the toys and all that. Again, if you want to know more about that, I'll leave a video link at the end of the video. You'll probably see it like right here somewhere. To my previous video talking about Hasbro obtaining the Master Toy license for Power Rangers, and all of my hopes and expectations are listed in that video. So go ahead and refer back to that if you want to know more about that. But that is my review of what should be the Morpher / changer for the Ranger Timefire or Quantum Ranger from Power Rangers Time Force / Time Ranger, respectively. So, until next time, guys. Bye, Japanese. Bye, Japanese. At least when it comes to this stuff. Later.